So you're going to be driving in France, maybe for a vacation or maybe for a move, and you want to make sure you know what you're doing. I'm Susie, I'm American, and I've been living and driving here in Dijon, France for over 17 years. In this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what to expect and highlight a few essential things that you need to know to stay safe on the roads. Here's what we'll cover: driving on the autoroute, the highway, speed limits on different road types, traffic cameras, les radars, and the driver's license point system, priorité à droite, France's most counterintuitive role, and how to convert your license if you're planning on staying in France. And there's a quiz at the end to see if you're ready to hit the road. As the French say, en voiture, Simone, let's go. First, we're heading toward the autoroute, the highway, which is always indicated by blue signage. We're heading south, but here's the first thing that trips up most visitors. There are no compass directions on French highway signs. You won't see A31 south. Instead, you need to know the name of the major city in that direction. We're going to Nuit-Saint-Georges, which is south of Dijon, so we follow signs for Beaune and Lyon, which are larger cities further south in the same direction. To get on the highway, head through any lane at the toll booth marked with a green arrow and grab a ticket. Avoid lanes marked with a T. Those are reserved for télépéage subscribers, called Liberté, the French equivalent of Easy Pass, or a red X. We can't go through those lanes either. We actually have a French Easy Pass, and if you're going to be driving a lot in France, it's worth getting one. It saves a lot of time at the toll plazas. But for this trip down to Nuit-Saint-Georges, we're taking a paper ticket. In fact, we used our Liberté transponder, our Easy Pass, for our trip back up to Dijon. And so here you can see how easy it is and how if you have one, you don't even have to come to a complete stop at toll plazas. Okay, so here we are. We're now actually on the autoroute. And one of the most important rules on highways in France is that unless you're actively passing someone, you should keep as far to the right as possible. French drivers are pretty disciplined about this. The left lane is really only for passing. Using it as a cruising lane will definitely annoy people. Speed limits on the autoroute are as follows. In dry conditions, it's 130 kilometers per hour, which is about 80 miles per hour. When it's raining, the speed limit automatically drops down to 110 kilometers per hour, which is about 68 miles per hour. And for new drivers, for people who have just gotten their license in the past 3 years, the speed limit is always 110 kilometers per hour on the highway. And for trucks, you'll notice they're going much slower than the cars. It's 90 kilometers an hour. You'll recognize an autoroute by the A, which is followed by a number, and the fact that it's going to be a road that has at least 2 lanes in each direction, a hard shoulder, and a central divider. And they are toll roads, of course. Almost all autoroutes in France are privately operated, and in fact, the tolls are quite expensive. A long cross-country drive can easily run 30 euros to 50 euros each way. And a note on signage: blue signs mean that you're on or approaching an autoroute, whereas green signs indicate free national roads. When you exit the autoroute, always on the right, you'll pass through a péage, a toll booth, and here you can pay with cash, you can insert your card, or you can tap to pay. Again, avoid the T lanes if you're paying with your card or cash, and you can use any lane with a green arrow. The green arrow actually means that any form of payment will work. So for us, the fact that we're using our card, we're going to be looking for a lane with a green arrow or with the card symbol. Sometimes you may also see this coins and bills symbol as well if you're paying with cash, but the green arrow should always work. For free alternatives to the autoroute, look for roads marked N for national or national, or D for departmental or départemental. These are France's equivalent of taking a state route instead of the interstate. Slower, but free. Okay, now on to the radar, or the speed cameras. See that gray box on the side of the road? That's a radar, a speed camera. France is covered in them, and they come in several forms. There are a radar vitesse fixe, fixed speed cameras. The most common type. It will check your speed at a single point, and they come in different shapes and sizes, so be careful. The radar vitesse moyenne, this is an average speed camera. So you have 2 cameras installed at the start and 2 at the end of a stretch of road. These will calculate your average speed between 2 points. So you have to be very careful if you notice these, if you see these. Radar feu rouge, red light camera. Yes, they can ticket you for running red lights too. And the radar pédagogique, that's the shame camera. So there's no fine involved. It will just flash your speed back at you in red if you're over the limit, or green, or in this case, kind of white if you're within the speed limit. And some even show you a sad face or a smiley face depending on your speed to encourage you or discourage you from speeding. And then you also have the mobile radars, and they move them around, so you have to be careful. And in France, you may even encounter police officers parked at the roadside operating mobile speed cameras, and increasingly officers patrolling in unmarked vehicles equipped with discrete cameras that can catch speeding drivers without you ever even knowing it. Normally, a warning sign like this is posted ahead of the radar, but you have to be really careful because you might actually get on a road after the warning sign has already been posted. And so you might not even notice it, in fact. And one more thing, French law no longer allows apps like Waze to indicate radar locations directly, but the French people have found a workaround. Now they indicate radars as police on Waze. So as you're driving around in France, you might notice that there's a lot of police, but it's often a symbol, a sign to indicate that there's actually a radar. So if you are caught speeding or running a red light, of course, you will get your fine in the mail. But in France, you don't just risk a fine for speeding or running a red light or using your phone while driving, for example. You risk your license, in fact. With your license, you'll start out with 12 points, and speeding will cost you between 1 and 3 points, depending on how much over the speed limit you are. Running a red light costs 4. Different infractions are sort of worth different amounts of points. And if you hit 0, your license is gone. And new drivers, people who have just gotten their license in France, only start with 6 points, which makes the early years of driving in France seem even more high stakes in a sense. Now that we're off the autoroute and into a small town, let's talk about priorité à droite, one of France's most confusing road rules for foreign visitors. The default rule in France is this: at any unmarked intersection where there's no stop sign, no yield sign, no traffic light, the vehicle coming from the right has the right of way. Even if you're on the main road and the other vehicle is coming from a small side street, they're on your right, so they go first. Sometimes you'll see one of these signs as a warning that you're indicating a priorité à droite intersection, but not always. This rule can catch a lot of visitors off guard and can be genuinely dangerous if you're not watching out for it. I made a dedicated video to priorité à droite, which I'll link to here, and I strongly recommend that you check it out before driving in France. The next thing I wanted to talk about was speed limits, depending on where you're driving, but you need to be really, really careful here because there will be lots and lots of exceptions to the following sort of guidelines. So as we said, it's 130 kilometers per hour, which is about 80 miles per hour on autoroute in dry conditions, which again drops to 110 kilometers per hour in the rain or for new drivers in the first 3 years after they get their license. The speed limit is 110 kilometers an hour, which is about 68 miles per hour on many divided highways with a central median that are not autoroute. And the speed limit for these will drop to 100 kilometers per hour in rain. So there are lots of exceptions, however, to this. For example, ring roads around lots of major cities. For example, Paris's ring road, it looks like this type of highway, but the speed limit is actually 50 kilometers per hour. Here in Dijon, for example, our ring road, called the Rocade, part of it, which is called the Lino, depending on where you are, the speed limit on our ring road around the city of Dijon is 90 kilometers an hour. Next, we have the 80 kilometers per hour speed limit, which is about 50 miles per hour. This is the default on most two-lane roads outside of villages, outside of towns. It was a big controversy in France when the speed was officially lowered from 90 on these roads to 80. And some local people are still not over it. They think that 80 is too slow. And so some départements have since given authority to raise certain roads back to 90. So you will see both, but just be really, really careful. 50 kilometers an hour, which is about 30 miles per hour, is the default inside any town or village or city. You're considered to have entered a town the moment that you pass the sign with the town name. So that means that no separate speed sign is needed. Once you're in a town, the speed limit by default of the fact that you're in the town is 50. So the limit goes back to 80 when you pass the crossed out version of that sign on the way out of the town. But again, there can be lots of exceptions. There can be a different speed that's posted, so just be really careful. And then 30 kilometers an hour, which is only equivalent to about 18 miles per hour, is increasingly common in city centers and in residential zones and near schools in particular. One common question people ask me is what to do with an American or Canadian license when moving to France. Good news first, your license is valid for 1 full year after you establish residency in France. So you have some breathing room. After that, whether you can exchange it depends on what state or province it's from. As of 2026, 18 states and 8 Canadian provinces have a reciprocal agreement with France, which means you can swap your license directly, no tests required. I'll link below to a government website on which you can check whether your country, state, province, or territory has reciprocity with France. If your state or province isn't on that list, you'll have to sit the French driving test in French. I had to do this. First, you have to take the written test, le code, which is in French, and which I failed the first time, so you need to make sure that you prepare properly. Then I had about 10 hours of practical driving tests with a French driving instructor to help me to prepare for the notoriously tricky French driving test. Then I had to take the driving test itself, and it was so funny. My instructor had me display my American driver's license on the dashboard as I was taking the test so that the examiner would know that I already had my driver's license. Luckily, I passed that on my first try. But then the humbling part, I had to stick a big red A on the back of my car to indicate that I was a new driver in France, which I had to keep on my car anytime I drove for the following 3 years, even though I was over 30 and had my driver's license at this point for over 15 years. It was a pain, it was time-consuming, and it was expensive. But if I can do it, you can do it. Okay, now it's time for the quiz. Let's see if you're ready to drive in France. I'm going to ask you a series of 5 questions. Let's go. Question number 1. You're on the autoroute and it's raining. What is the speed limit? The speed limit is 110 kilometers per hour. The speed limit drops in rainy conditions from 130 to 110. You're driving from Roissy-Charles de Gaulle Airport to the D-Day beaches in Normandy. What signs do you follow? You follow signs in the direction of Paris first, then Rouen, then Caen, and then your specific beach town. There will be no compass directions. You need to follow the city names. Question number 3. You're approaching an unmarked intersection in a village at the same time as a car coming from your right. They have their blinker on and are going to turn right. You sense that you'll arrive a split second before them. What do? Slow down or even stop and let them go. If they are on your right, they have the right of way because of priorité, no matter who arrives at the intersection first or what direction people are turning or going in. Question number 4. Your American driver's license was issued by the state of California. What will you need to eventually do in France? California is not on the reciprocal list as of 2026, so eventually you're going to have to repass your written test and your practical driving test here in France. Question number 5. You just entered a French village. You know because you passed the village name sign, but you didn't see a specific speed limit sign. What speed should you be driving? You should be at 50 kilometers per hour or under, and you don't necessarily need to see a speed limit sign because you know that when you pass into a village and you see those entering the village signs, you know that the speed is limited to 50 kilometers an hour. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What's your experience driving in France been like? Any surprises? Any near misses with priorité à droite? And if you're organizing your own move to France and you want to talk through your plans with someone who's been living here since 2008, I've opened up a few consultation spots, and if you'd like more information, you can click on the link in the video description below. And for more practical information about life in France, you can sign up for my free email newsletter by clicking on the link in the video description below. And if you'd like to see some more driving and car-specific videos here on my channel, I'll link to a few videos here and here. Thank you so much for watching, and until the next time, à bientôt!